Holy shit! Hello everyone, my name is Jays, and welcome to my follow-up video on Helms Deep Reborn. Recently, my first video on this topic blew up and gained a lot of attention, and a lot of people have been asking me to make a follow-up video, detailing everything that's happened since. So without any further ado, I'll get straight to the point. There have been some major developments since I uploaded the first video, so I'll give a detailed rundown of everything in chronological order. Right after I uploaded the video, it gained roughly 4,000 views in the span of a few days. However, this did not achieve much. Sure, the Left 4 Dead community gained some more awareness on this ordeal, but overall the video itself did not garner much attention. It was mainly the fixed mod that got overwhelming support, with quite literally almost the entire active Left 4 Dead community subscribing to it. It was evident that nobody supported Serious Samurai anymore, but since he still had over 1 million inactive subscribers, he didn't care and continued with his unwanted updates to change people's games. Even Splinks, one of the guys who was originally listed as a contributor to the map, got fed up and cut all ties with it. In response to each and every change Serious Samurai made, me and my buddy Xanaguy updated the fixed mod accordingly with the relevant files to counter those changes. This went on for a few months, with us always coming out on top by finding methods to undo his updates. I have to give Xanaguy a massive shout out for this, as he's been the driving force behind the fixed mod's updates, whereas I am just the publisher for it. Moving on, Sui, who I mentioned in the original video, got in contact with Drakir, a former Team Chivalry member, and discussed the possibility of him filing a DMCA claim on Helms Deep Reborn. Drakir was hesitant initially, but then Serious Samurai found out about Drakir being the last person with the ability to sue him, and he decided to write him a message. Yep. Serious Samurai wrote this message to the one person who had the right to take him to court. Needless to say, after receiving that message, Drakir made the decision to file a DMCA takedown notice on Helms Deep Reborn. But Valve ignored it. Yes, you're hearing that correctly. The DMCA claim was manually removed by Valve, the map remained untouched, and Drakir heard nothing from them anymore. Since then, Sui has been staying in contact with Drakir, but it seems that he is too busy to get further involved with this ordeal. So while not confirmed, it appears that another DMCA takedown would not be happening. After that, it seemed like nothing would ever change. That is when Serious Samurai decided to implement even more changes to the map, just to further his power trip and control over players. The first thing he did was improve his hijacking methods. While I briefly touched on this in the first video, I didn't go into full detail on it, but basically what he's done is that he had now implemented files which essentially disable your admin powers on your hosted server and disable any server-side mods while running the map. The result of this is that any modded server with the map installed will crash, regardless of what map is actually being played. Fortunately, server owners have already made their own scripts to counteract this, but Serious Samurai was constantly trying to find a workaround so he could continue to force his changes onto everyone. Furthermore, he had fully implemented a ban script, listing over 700 Steam users and their respective Steam ID, that kicked them the moment they tried to load up the map, regardless of the server they were playing on. On top of that, he also had the ability to permanently ban individuals from any server he wanted, and he still does. It will still be a permanent ban if any player with the courage to call him out joins a server on the Helms Deep map, and that ban will take effect even if the server is hosting a different map. Basically he was, and technically still is able to completely ban people at will from any server he wants, providing that the server has Helms Deep Reborn installed. This is a direct violation of the workshop's terms of service as well, as he is intentionally preventing specific users from playing the map, pretty much just because he doesn't like them. I'm even one of the people on that list. I wonder why. In response to Serious Samurai's actions, Xanaguy decided to make the Helms Deep Weapon Unlocker, an add-on that would allow anyone to use the Donata exclusive perks, such as splitting the Left 4 Dead 1 survivors or using the paid melee weapon, completely for free. While Serious Samurai has made multiple attempts at preventing both the fixed mod and the weapon unlocker from working, Xanagai has proven that his skills are superior, and he has always found a way to make the fixes work. But that's enough about that. There's something far more interesting that has happened recently. Helms Deep Reborn is not on the workshop anymore. If you try to view the map on the workshop, you will be greeted by an error message, stating that the item in question cannot be found. Although some rumors claim that Valve took down the map, the real reason for this is simple. The map has been set to friends-only visibility by Serious Samurai, and therefore cannot be viewed by anyone except his Steam friends. You might be wondering why? Why would he suddenly private the mod? Well, recently my YouTube channel gained a lot of attention after I exposed Conchick for being a fraud, and by correlation, What's the Deal with Helms Deep Reborn also gained a lot of attention, jumping from 4,000 views to over 140,000 views in the matter of a few days. While the production value of that video is not the best, it was my first after all, it got the point across, and a lot of people went to the map's workshop page to voice their opinions about it. In response, Serious Samurai deleted every single one of those comments. However, due to the exposure my video received, the comments didn't stop, and it proved too much for Serious Samurai to constantly censor dozens of comments every day. So in response to that, he set the map's visibility to friends only and his profile to private. He even made a post about this, where he explains why he made this decision. In this, he claims that the map has been set to friends only due to several hackers stealing the map's files. He even proceeds to claim that there's many trolls who are harassing him and spreading lies, and that he even asked Valve for the option to disable comments as a whole. Valve obviously ignored his request. Let's take a moment to appreciate the irony and hypocrisy of this post. Serious Samurai stole Helms Deep from Team Chivalry and is now complaining about other people stealing from him. He still seems to believe that the fix mod includes the map, when they are entirely new mods made by Xanagai, which only include default Valve files. And he calls everyone a troll, when all they did was voice their opinions about his malicious behavior and unwanted updates to the map. So it appears that Serious Samurai doesn't just consider himself as a self-proclaimed developer for Left 4 Dead 2, but he is also very clearly delusional, still believing that what he is doing is good, despite the numbers proving that every single person who plays Left 4 Dead 2 doesn't want his changes and actively dislikes them. So, now that the map is only visible to its friends, a lot of people have been wondering whether they will ever be able to play the map again. Fortunately, I have permission from Team Chivalry to port their Age of Chivalry maps to Left 4 Dead 2, and have, for the time being, uploaded a cleaned up and fixed version of Helms Deep to the Steam Workshop. This version was cleaned up by Xanagai and is completely safe to use. You will have access to all the commands, even those which were previously locked behind a paywall, and you don't have to worry about it ruining your game either, or hijacking a server for that matter. It's completely safe, it's cleaned and fixed up and ready for you to enjoy once again. You can find a workshop link for it in the description down below. So, what is the outlook in regards to this entire ordeal? Well, it appears that Serious Samurai is never going to make the map public again, because pretty much everyone is fed up with him and his antics at this point, and he will never be able to escape the criticism and backlash he's brought onto himself. On top of that, I plan to create my own improved version of Helms Deep Reborn when I have some spare time. As Team Chivalry has allowed me to port and use all of their maps in Left 4 Dead 2, I gathered a team of skilled individuals to help me with this. But the project has been put on hold due to personal life and studies getting in the way. I fully intend to pick it up again in the future though, so if you're interested, you can join the project's Discord server. The link is in the description. To end this video on a positive note, I'd like to talk about Team Chivalry themselves and their apparent inaction in spite of Serious Samurai repeatedly stealing their map. I've seen people ask, why don't they have it taken down, or why didn't they stop him 10 years ago? And the answer is simple. They cared more about the community than about enforcing their rights. When Helms Deep was initially stolen back in 2009, they actually wanted to take down the map. But then they saw how many people were enjoying it, so they tried to come to an agreement with Serious Samurai, who was very uncooperative and oftentimes outright refused to communicate. Eventually they managed to find a compromise, which was the map staying up, but them receiving proper credit, which Serious Samurai removed after a month. Following that, they contacted a site administrator to help with the issue at hand and had it resolved. Even though they could very easily have had the entire map taken down, they prioritized the players over themselves, and for that they earned my respect. Therefore, I'm glad to see that the team members are doing well nowadays, some having moved on to bigger game studios and some fulfilling lifelong dreams. It seems that, in the end, everything is turning out well for everyone except Serious Samurai. With that being said, thank you very much for watching, and have a great night. I know this video is a lot less information based than my other ones, and mostly consists of me retelling everything that's happened in the past months. But I'd still like to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for raising awareness about this. Nothing would have changed if you guys hadn't gotten the word out and brought attention to this issue. Hopefully I can improve my videos and continue to inform you all about these kinds of topics, and with your support, make more positive impacts and change things for the better in an informed and civilized manner. Anyways, thank you once again very much for watching, and have a great night.